Take up, put that on. Wait, life, ice skate. Surfing at a risk car, 10 to pink toes.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just gonna kick it right off. So yesterday I dropped the video of the new wrap on the F80, so it shouldn't be a surprise when I turn this camera around that you see the wrap. But I just got back from Raceworks out in Burbank, and I think I talked about them a little bit last video, but they went ahead and dialed in the suspension, the control arms, and they dropped in the new suspension as well. So let's just turn this camera around and show you what I got. So I teased at it yesterday in that video about the MCS sticker, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second, but I just want to show you guys this fitment. Up front, we got a 25 mil spacer with some extended studs. Those are 90 mils, and I'm actually going to need to go even bigger than that. And so we're running about 4 degrees of camber up front and about 2.5, 2.7 in the rear. I'm really not too sure. I have to look at the camber, the alignment sheets to see the specs. But here is the main event of the evening. We have MCS three-way suspension on the car now. These aren't a permanent placement for these. I need to buy some of these fancy mounts, kind of bracket in the around the canisters to go ahead and not move around and not snap off the zip ties that it's attached to currently. So this isn't permanent position. I really wanted to get them onto the cage, either side, but where the lines come up through on both sides, there's just not enough play for it to go there. So this is fine. Honestly, I can literally just pop the trunk and adjust the high speed and low speed compression, which I'll go over what that means in a bit. Yeah, very easily. So here's the rear setup. Let's go check out the front. All right, so the front setup's a little different. Obviously, we have our adjuster knob here. And if you notice, check this out. They had to actually cut the strut bar, the OEM strut bar, to get the clearance in order to fit the GT4 wheel. So basically, if they didn't cut it, right, this would be over more, which would bring in the camber, or bring out the camber. So the top of the wheel was actually poking with how the OEM strut bar is. So Casey and those guys over at Raceworks did some engineering on the fly. They went ahead and trimmed this, and they went ahead and added a different sleeve on the top hat nut right there. And it looks like we're actually using the ground control coilover top hats right there too. So perfect. I guess I'm still using my ground control camber plates, which I thought I was on Vrsf, but using the ground controls nonetheless. So we have our rebound adjustment right here, and then we have the compression, high speed and low speed compression right here. So the green knob adjusts the high speed, and the black knob adjusts the low speed compression. These also need to be mounted somewhere. Casey was talking about maybe doing it right into the Injen metal piece right here, the heat guard. We'll see. I've seen guys mount them as well, like over here, which I think would look really good. And then same thing for this side as well. So still got some work to do to it to make it look, as good as possible. But for now, this is great, man. And shit, what else was I gonna show you guys? Oh yeah, I was gonna go over what high speed and low compression means. So let's go back to the rear of the car. All right, so now that we're back to the rear of the car, I just wanted to tell you guys real quick, for anybody who was wondering, the rear is actually a true coilover setup, and the rebound is actually adjusted through the bottom of the car, right where the shock attaches to the actual hub of the knuckle of the car. So let's talk real quick about low speed and high speed compression, because myself, I was actually confused. I was under the impression that high speed compression meant how the car handles shit at high speeds and low at low speeds, but it's actually how fast the shock compresses. So if it's a high speed compression, basically, let's take for example, if you hit a curb on track, which is pretty normal at a high speed, right? Let's say you're at Chuckwalla and you're smashing curbs at 80, 90 miles an hour. That high speed compression can be, the way your car handles it can be adjusted with the high speed compression knob. So let's say if you have your stiffness turned up, that high speed compression, when you hit that curb, will almost like feel like a spring off of that bitch. It'll be super stiff and maybe not as compliant, you know. So maybe having a softer high compression is the move, something that kind of absorbs that hit and doesn't upset the whole chassis. And then you have your low speed compression, which would be pretty much if you're driving on a track, just all the little imperfections in the road you'll be able to dial in or dial out of your steering feel completely with that low speed compression knob. So this is an adjustment for all four corners. So it'll be nice to go ahead and practice my tuning skills, I guess, to match my driving style. So I'm pretty excited to get on track with these. We got a track day tomorrow, on Sunday, and yeah, it'll be the first time using these. If it rains, which it might rain, it might actually rain on Sunday. We're obviously not going to be driving the M3 nearly as hard. It would just be a day to go out there and practice getting used to driving in the rain. It doesn't really rain that often here in California, and the fact that it's raining on a track day is even more crazy. So I think this is a good chance to learn some things about the car. Learn some things about the suspension as well that I just got. You know, I just paid good money for it. I want to go out and use it. So I think it's going to be an important lesson and a good lesson if it rains. And if not, then great. You know, we'll continue on as normal and we'll pound the shit out of this suspension in this car and really push it to the limit. But yeah, we'll see. It should be a good time. So if you guys have any questions on the suspension setup itself, what control arms I'm using, they're all SPL. Basically anything about this car, just drop in the comment section below and I will get back to it as soon as possible. Other than that, yeah, take it easy, guys. Later.